Hello everyone, Dominic here this is my first midweek news recap stream. It's not even a news recap stream. I just felt like coming on, turning the stream on before heading to bed. It's been an exciting week. The NLC is back. UK League of Legends, UK Ireland and Nordics League of Legends is back. And thought I'd just chat about it randomly. So it's good to see a few of you viewers here. It's nice to be able to do a stream and know there are people here. Newts, how's it going? Thank you for following. Congratulations on your 2-0. Week 1. What an exciting couple of matches. I have to say, I'm not just saying that. X7, you guys have been super exciting to watch. The two Korean import players, the rest of your other players, the teamwork and everything. We'll come on to that. Caden, thank you for following. I appreciate it. iCrazy says NLC smashed it. I completely agree. iCrazy, I've been really impressed. I've said this a few times. I don't want to go overboard because I always try and be balanced as a journalist, but I've said it a few times on the stream and on Twitter. I've been impressed with the production levels of the NLC. I really like the new host as well, Arkarom. Smiley, just a decent host. Good interviews as well. How good has it been to see the post-match interviews with winners and losers? You know, usually we get winners. You know, I've had it in the past where certain teams will decline loser interviews. Why? It's is good. You know, it's exciting to, you know, yes, it's like sports, isn't it? You win some and you lose some. It's good to have loser interviews as well, I think. And the loser interviews have been very good as well, the NLC this week. You know, there's not been too many bitter sort of players or coaches or whatnot. So, yeah. Caden says, I've been following NLC since summer 2020. What do you think, Caden? How does this one compare? You say, I love the new intro for the NLC and for good reason too. Yep, good to hear. Newts, good to see you excited about it, mate. And thanks. Yeah, I hope I can. I hope I can visit the X7 guys. And I'm currently suffering from COVID at the moment. It's not too bad. Don't worry. All my kids have caught it now as well, which is a pain in the neck. But we're not too bad. I think we've got the Omicron strain. It just feels like a very, very mild cold. And my wife as well, I was a bit worried about her because she has bad asthma, but we're okay so far. So I'm hoping I'll get. I'm doing my first lateral flow test tomorrow since testing positive. So I'm hoping I can leave the house and be good to interview some players. Who else do we have in the chat here? The Shark person, Megalodontus. Thank you for joining the stream. I know it's late. This is a late stream, but good to have you in the chat, and I'll talk about one of your articles, a roster roundup. We'll talk about some of the rosters in the NLC and the different divisions. iCrazy says, I love the content they did, and Newt says the other tournament organiser tried to push loser interviews in UKLC in the past, as some teams would push against it. Yeah, absolutely. I know that some teams have pushed against it. It's good that we've got teams, I hope, that aren't pushing against it now. We've got fewer teams, right? We've got 10 teams. So, Caden says, NLC has been brilliant. I caught a glimpse of the broadcast and the quality is literally through the roof. I had to get a PCR on Monday, came back negative last night. Oh, good. I'm glad it came back negative. Shark Person says, oh, nice. We'll probably be off by then, but cheers. Yeah, no problem. No problem, Mega. So let's jump into it. I don't really have much planned today. I don't have much of a structure. I just wanted to have a chat. And I will say, newcomers to this stream, I'm still new to streaming, to be honest. I'm a bit of a boomer. I'm in my mid-30s, so it's taken me a while to get used to the stream, get it up and running. You can see we've got a little sub goal. Where are we? Down there. 2 out of 10. I was really pleased. We've just become Twitch affiliate, and we had 2 subs come in last time, so I appreciate that. It's not expected at all. A stream, this is like a bonus thing I'm doing. My background, Caden or new people that have joined this stream, I write articles, right, on Esports News UK. That's our forte. That's our world. That's what I think I'm good at compared to videos and streaming. But I want to improve. I enjoy talking to you all, and especially stuck inside, self-isolating. It's good to chat, even if it is on text chat and stuff like that. And maybe in future streams, well, we've done a few like live interview streams. Maybe in the future we'll get a few of you on and chat as we go as well, but small steps for now. I've got some emotes coming as well. You'll see there should be one emote. I've submitted the others on Monday, so hopefully they'll get approved. And I've got some more that are being made as well, which I'll let you in on once I have more info. Caden says, I don't know whether I like DreamHack or Freaks for You better in terms of the NLC. I like the DreamHack format better in summer 2021. Even the independent group stage where there isn't a best of one with the other group wasn't too bad in my opinion. Yeah, I tend to agree. I don't think any bad of. I think we've had good tournament organisers over the years in UK League of Legends. I still miss the old ESL Premierships, but that's just, I think, the nostalgia goggles. That was the first time I started following UK League of Legends in 2015. LVP introduced interesting new formats like the tower format. That divided opinion a lot, but I kind of liked how they tried new things and they tried to take it to the next level. Then we had DreamHack come in and now Freaks for You. And, it's a little bit of a rocky start last year, but as I was saying to people, and as I said in this article I did the other week, the Freaks for You technically took over start of this year in terms of the productions and stuff, and their productions have been good. So the Shark Person says Dom showing his esports age. Yeah, not just esports age, my age in general. I was around the old Nintendo Entertainment System and all that. But anyway, enough of me. Let's bring up. Where should we start? Should we start with how things have gone? Should we start with how things have gone? Let's have a look at the NLC, the standings. When I looked at this, I was a bit surprised actually, because usually in the evenings when the matches are on, I can't give the matches my complete attention. Now that I'm in lockdown and I've got into a bit of a routine, I have been able to watch a lot of them. But 4 teams are with a 2-0 there. Veneer, Bifrost, Astralis Talent and X7. I've been impressed with Veneer, actually. They're mid laner. Oh gosh, his name eludes me now. Let's bring up the. This is why I have a roster roundup article on the site. Here we go. It's to help me more than anything, to be honest. I know there's Leaguepedia and stuff like that out there, but I like having a place on Esports News UK as well. And shout out to Megalodontus for doing this, and me annoying Megalodontus, making him write out all these names. That's for Google reasons, you know. If people search for stuff, we'll have it. It will appear in Google and stuff like that. Sahira, that's it. Sahira, I like his attitude and personality, and I think Veneer have been playing pretty well together, I have to say. But yeah, those 4 teams. Then JDXL. I mean, it was so close, wasn't it? The game tonight. It could have been XL Esports with a 2-0 and X7 with a 1-1. But X7, I think they just deserved to edge it for me, just about. The plays from the 2 Korean players, Tempt and Haru, really impressive. And I think those 2 teams, XL and X7, are going to be there or thereabouts around the top, right, towards the end of the season. But I'm not discounting the other teams there. But Veneer, Bifrost and Astralis, I think, are good. But it's early days, right? Things can change. You've got Riddle and JDXL, 1 win and 1 loss each. And then Eminem and Enrique, how do you pronounce Enrique? I'm not sure. Dusty and Singularity 0-2, but Singularity's game on Monday was pretty close, wasn't it? That was against Veneer, and they were really fighting Singularity. I was impressed with them. So yeah, I'd love to hear what you think. Caden said JDXL. I still call them BTXL. Yeah, 100%. It's going to take a while to get used to. That's the problem, right? With putting a sponsor name as your team name. If you change that sponsor often, it gets confusing and difficult to follow. I don't even know the full story behind that JD sponsor. I've reached out to Excel, haven't heard back. I did get a response, you know, and I guess Excel will announce something at some point. But because I didn't have the info on the deal and stuff, I haven't written a news story on it because everyone knows now it's JDXL. It's in the league, isn't it? It's happening. So those were the matches. And I mean, if I have to pick a game, just talking about the X7 and the where are we here? Let me go back to my Twitter here, because I've got a few clips and bits here. I'll play you this clip. Let me just see if you can see this. If this is yeah, that's not too bad, isn't it? That's not too bad. You can see that there. It's on Twitter though, unfortunately, which is a bit gets a bit grainy at the start. But I'll play this.
Monster. Tempt is a
both these mid laners. It's both of these mid laners right now. They're playing out of their minds. Mnez is finding such key bubbles and snipes. First, it's onto Jaeger to kick off this fight. It doesn't quite go the way that they want it because somehow Zalek ends up in the backline. I don't know how this happens, but at the end of the day, it's Akali that finds the shutdown onto her. And then eventually we get into this really wild 3v2 situation. We see the bubble come in again, but it's another snipe plus Gale Force of all things dropped on the floor for Mnez to find the snipe. And then Tempt and of course Haru 2v3, the mid jungle import
this play
against JDXL. And I mean, look at Tempt's movement here, man. Dodging, diving, making sure he practically never gets hit by anything that's directly a skill shot after the initial biome. Absolute crazy outplay coming out.
The 2v3 there was absolutely amazing, wasn't it? From Tempt and Haru, and I think Trouble described it as world-class League of Legends, and well, it is, isn't it? Right? Haru was on a World Championship winning team with Samsung Galaxy a few years ago. Yes, he played he was a sub and played one game or whatever it was, but to still get picked up by the likes of Samsung Galaxy, he's been with SKT, hasn't he? He is world-class. So, yeah. Caden says, other than Freaks for You not showing the calibration matches, production quality has actually been great. Goldborg was muted day one at the first draft. Classic DreamHack blooper from spring 2021. And iCrazy says, hope Division 2 games get streamed. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that, to be honest. I think, I can't remember what I've heard. I hope they are. And it'd be a shame if they're not. I think they will do. I believe they start on the 25th, is it, or something? Megalodontus reminded me earlier. So, yeah, I look forward to seeing those because we've got some good teams. Let's go in there. So we've got the Div 1 teams, which we've spoken about. Div 2 teams, you know, it's another 10 teams here, and there are some names that have been pretty well known in UK sports, like London United and Munster Rugby Gaming. Lucent are in there, Natives, a newcomer to the NLC, and a few others. Knox have been removed now, or they've ceased operations, right, as an org, but as we understand it, their roster's still going to be allowed to continue, so we'll have to see what happens there. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't know many of the Div 3 teams and below, and some of these rosters are to be announced as well. I know Megalodontus is working on some of this. Megalodontus does know some of these rosters, or is at least working on them, so we'll get them updated at some point. But yes, we'll be updating the Div 2 section soon. Yeah, 100%. That's right, Crazy. Yeah, Div 3 to 5 have a calibration tournament soon. I forgot about that. And Caden said NLC was Tuesday, Wednesday in 2020. That was literally the highlight of my week. Yeah, I loved it as well. My only difficulty was becoming a parent 5 years ago. I've had less time to follow this stuff. I have been trying to do a few bits on socials, and NLC have been sharing a few good bits as well. But yeah. I'll go through my Twitter actually, because I've put. I loved that in the most recent game, the XL versus X7. I loved that it was an Arcane special, right? XL had Caitlyn and Vi locked in, and X7 had Jinx. Caprioska, thank you for following the stream. Thanks for being here. And yeah, I mean, Vi is an unusual pick. I mean, I've played Vi a lot over the years. You'll see I have this thing. Whoops-a-daisy. I have this thing from quite a few years now, the little Vi statue, just because I played Vi a lot over the years, and not so much these days. I don't get time as much to play like solo queue and stuff as much as I like, but it was great to see Vi, let alone a lot of the main Arcane characters, so that was pretty cool. Kay Prioska said, hey bud, what did you think of first week so far? Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I was just saying, I've been impressed with the production quality. I'm excited to watch X7's matches in particular, I think, because they're still a relatively new organisation. They're a new team to the NLC, and they've got really exciting players, right, in Haru and Tempt, the Korean players, but also players like Kasing. I'm a bit biased, you know. Kasing's been one of the best or most experienced UK players over the years, so it's good. And it was nice to see his comments tonight as well, talking, you know, the NLC casters and hosts were asked him, what does he feel, how does he feel about not being the only sort of like veteran or experienced player on a team for once, and he said it feels really nice because you don't have to spend as much time, you know, training up the rookies and spending time helping them get up to speed and stuff like that. And he looked really happy. Kasing looks like the happiest I've seen him in a long time. He really had a grin on his face, and so that's great to see. I think they've got good togetherness. There doesn't seem to be language barriers. I didn't realise Haru was speaking English pretty well, so there doesn't seem to be too much of a language barrier there. Caden says, I personally think Freaks for You should use the draft layout from previous splits. Caprioska said, I'm English too, and a support man. I totally understand your bias. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm Esports News UK as well, right? So we are biased towards UK League of Legends and UK players. I recently interviewed Alfari, if you haven't seen that on the site. I did a live Twitch interview with him. That was a lot of fun. And he really spoke up Vitality ahead of the LEC season. Yeah, Caden says, I'm trying to get a friend of mine hooked into it. They're from the UK, surprisingly, but they currently live in the US like a mile from where I am. Is that what, getting them into the NLC? Yeah, well, I hope NLC get more people watching it. You know, it's still... What have we had this week? We had like around 2,000 viewers. It was sort of bubbling around, you know, 1,200 at points to 2,000 and a bit more than 2,000 viewers, which isn't too bad, but, you know, love to get into the 5 figures if we can. K. Prioska said X7 is managed by Robin and Nudo, who ran absolved, and they are great guys, so Kasing is in good hands. Yeah, absolutely. And also, you know, Newts, who was in this chat, was talking in this chat earlier, they've got him when they acquired Bulldog as well, right? So they should do well, X7 this year. I definitely see them doing well. I'd love to see them do well in European Masters as well, but it's still early days yet. Keprioska said 2.2 to 2.6k day 1, 1.6 to 2.5 concurrent day 2. Yeah, roughly. It's not too bad. I mean, it's kind of in line with what we've had in the past, right? So it's not too bad. Okay, so yeah, there's a few videos and things here. I won't run through these too much. Yeah, so I guess that's a little bit on the NLC. What else do we have here? There were some interesting clips and things. I won't play them all on stream, but there was some interesting little clips and things that I put on my social media. Karam asked the X7 players what they think of the new Chem Fog in League of Legends, and they all put ban up. You know, they all don't like it. I think, to be honest, if you did a survey with pro players, you'd get a similar response. I'm not sure, but that often happens in League of Legends, right? When you have a new season, you have changes. There are always going to be people that are upset with them. And then LEC as well. Should we go into? We'll go into caster stuff. Arkarom, yeah, I was saying that earlier. Really impressed. I really like him as a host. He's got charm, personality. He's chilled out. I like the chilled out nature. Reminds me of an old friend. I used to go to an old school friend. Actually, his sort of his style, pretty laid back, but also, I don't know. I feel like he's informal but also formal. You know, he dresses very smart, so it's quite a nice. He's got quite a nice mix, and he's got a big smile. I think he puts his interviewees at ease, right? And that's not always easily done. Someone who's interviewed a lot of people over the years. You know, I say to people, journalists and hosts and casters do have some similarities, but I think hosts and casters have more of that personality, more of a smile, and so on, and better on camera than us scruffy journalists. But yeah. Caden says, Arkram's good, but I actually didn't mind Excoundrel either. Well, we're blessed with talent, aren't we, in the UK, and in general, to be honest. Excoundrel is always going to be one of the OGs. He's a great guy. He's doing a slightly different thing now, right, doing PR work with the Story Mob. But he's Excoundrel, yeah, he's a great caster. We've got a lot of good talent. Our Crazy says, I hope in the future they can have a person to go through games and talk about them, like match analysis. Yeah, I'm sure we'll probably will get that, I reckon, as we go on. We'll see. But I like that to an extent, but I don't like to go too deep, right? I feel like NLC's got a nice balance of speaking to low elo noobs like me, you know, and explaining the matchups and things like that. Shark Person says NLC needs to get Arkarom's old LPL LOL partner Anfar and get them to cast something LOL. Yeah, that would be good. I'm not too familiar with Anfar, Mega, only what you've told me. So yeah, it'd be good to Okay, Prieska says I'm very close with Anfar too. Cool stuff. This is a really very active chat. Thank you everyone for joining. Hi Rav. Hello. How you doing? I was just complimenting Newts on X7. Congrats on your 2-0 week 1. That's very exciting to watch. I have to say, very exciting to watch indeed. Snowlines, good to see you in the chat. How are you doing? Glad that Trouble's back, Snowlines says, and Nymira's doing more. Good on the LGL unofficial. Yes, 100%. And let's talk about Nymira and the guys that are up and coming, because we've had some great NLC casters. We had Hiprain and Jamada, didn't we, on day 1 this week, and I've sort of coming up with some silly Hollywood duo names like Hip Jam and stuff like that. But then we had Viperoon today, which became Vip Jam. I know I'm silly and weird like that. I see words and I mix words together. They've all been good. We know these guys have been good over the years. They got called up to the LEC last year, didn't they? Jamada, Hiprain, Goldberg, and now for Viperoon to come in, initialise Nymira is great. Trouble returning, Goldberg returning, and Arkarom as host. I think it's a really nice lineup here, and yeah, I've been impressed with it so far. And so looking at other lineups, so I think I might have mentioned this on the last stream. Cadro and Medic are joining the LFL English broadcast team as guest casters. So there's some more good UK talent there to look forward. I'm looking forward to seeing the French League of Legends matches on an English broadcast with Cadro and Medic. I mean, Medic. I like both the guys, but Medic's play-by-play I absolutely love. Did you guys see this? Where is it here? Did you guys see this video? Who's seen this video? The Conspiracy Against Misfits Gaming. Let me know, because I'm going to play a bit from there. I love Medic's casting. Hyrav says, thank you very much. Very exciting game today. It was. And do you know what I was saying, Hyrav, as well? Your players look happy. And that can't be understated, right? It's such an important thing to get right. Kassing, he looks so happy on this team. I interviewed him when he was with Excel a couple of years ago. And, you know, he's at a bit of a down point because I think around that time they weren't doing very well in the LEC, and I think he was at the point getting pushed down to the academy roster and wasn't very happy. So to see him with a big smile on his face makes a difference, doesn't it, going into games and to get that togetherness and everything. So that's nice to see. Caprioska says Nymeria initialised Will from week 3 onwards. So, Caprioska, what are you in there with all the casters then? Are you friends with? Are you on the NLC team? Is there something I should know here? Other 3 depends on COVID quarantine, sadly. Crazy said, have you seen the thing H2K Rich said about K Corp? No, I haven't. No, please let us know what he said. Hyrav said, the players are really loving each other's company. Haru has just treated me to some extra spicy Korean noodles and I can no longer feel my tongue and lips. Oh my goodness. Well, I love noodles, but I don't like spicy things, so it'd be hard for me to try those. Oh, Caprioska, you're the product manager, William Roche. Oh, sorry, William, I wasn't sure about that. Do you know what? I need to make do you want in on a little secret? Guys, I have a notepad here with names because my boomer brain struggles sometimes to link gamer tags up with people's names, and there are so many now, and you've got to learn as a journalist who the people are in the scene. You've got to learn their names, and you've got to learn their gamer names as well. So I'm going to make a note of that, William. What's it been like on the inside, William? What's it been like, seeing it come to fruition? It must be pretty fun, pretty exciting, right? Okay. Hi, Rav said, Cassing, yes, I remember you're the founder of SQ1, William, so I know basically all the next up-and-coming talent in the scene too. Yeah, and credit to you as well, because you've given a lot of this up-and-coming talent a platform, right? It's so important, that lower grassroots level, because a lot of these casters coming through now started at the small level, right? UKEL and, like you say, SQ1 and other leagues like that. Irev says, Kassing really ties it all together. Great environment to be in, and both Tempt and Nata have come out of their shell a lot since they first arrived. Yeah, 100%. And do you know what? I was thinking of Nata and your top laner and so on, because, everyone, it's easy for everyone to talk about the Korean imports and to talk about Kassing, but the other two, I hope they're getting some attention too. As a journalist, I'm quite mindful of not going too crazy on talking of the Korean imports the whole time. Let's highlight the ADC and the top laner that aren't getting spoken about so much as well, because they've done a solid job so far as well. So, I hope they don't get that feeling of not being sort of spoken about so much. Crazy. Rich said, today I learned if you don't think Carmine Corp are the best team in LFL, then you are literally a racist. Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that. If you don't think K-Corp are the best team. To be honest, after 8 years working esports, Caprioska said it's been unbelievably rewarding so far. More is to come though. I'm still not satisfied yet. To be honest, Nata really came through on the post show to me too. Yeah, I'd love to highlight him some more in the future. Yeah, absolutely. If I interview the guys, I think I'll make an effort to, give them some equal sort of coverage and stuff like that. Absolutely. Has anyone seen this Misfits video? I'm just going to play the start because I just love the casting from Medic, that line from last year. Where are we here? I hope you can hear this volume okay. It seems quiet to me. I won't play the rest of the video, but it's quite a funny thing. As of course, I forgot actually how well Misfits were doing last year in the LEC. They were punching above their weight, weren't they, Misfits? Did they get through to the playoffs? I can't actually remember now. I think they got through to playoffs, but got knocked out in round one. Did they? Or am I wrong with that? I feel like Misfits did get into playoffs, didn't they? But that moment when they were beating Rogue pretty well actually, and oh gosh, I've forgotten his name now, but the jungler for Rogue, is it Inspired, came in and did the ultimate with Fiddlesticks and just completely wiped them out. Yeah, I love that. I'm trying to keep up with the chat here. This is a great active chat, everyone. Harav said, completely agree with you. Sometimes it's hard to influence what journalists wish to highlight, but we appreciate all our players equally, and we've been really impressed with everyone's input so far. It is hard to influence what us journalists can highlight. You can, by all means, pass things under our nose, send us emails or messages, or you think you have an interesting story, like, oh, our top laner's just done this, Dom, or whatever else, good to keep that dialogue going. Hyrav said, Devil Piotr, analyst, and Stefan, strategic assistant coach, and Nias, head coach, have done an amazing job with everything, a lot of which may go unnoticed. Yeah, that's the other thing. Coaching teams should be highlighted as well. Shark Person said, I've highlighted roster reports really all off-season. That's about it, lol. And Snowline says he wrote a short guide to casting where he talks about his casting style and strategy. I think it's pinned on his Twitter. Very interesting read. Yeah, that's Medic, isn't it? That is Medic. Let me go back to this because I did have I did mention him here. That's it. Yeah, lots of people have been asking me for some casting tips. Here's some play-by-play basics. Do you know what as well? If you Google British Esports Medic interview or Dom Sacco Medic interview, I interviewed Medic. I think it was just when COVID started. So. Oh gosh, yeah, almost 2 years ago now. But that was a really good chat. I had a live Twitch interview with Medic, and I know Medic back when he went by the name of Sona in the UK scene. He used to cast a lot with Scoundrels. It's been great, amazing to see his journey over the years as well. Snowline says the Crowstorm clip always reminds me of Bone Storm is Ready from Spider-Man. Okay. Do you know what? I haven't seen many of the recent Spider-Man films. I watched the films a lot when it was what's that actor in the third one, he went all like emo, those were the Spider-Man films I sort of grew up with. Is it Toby something? I want to say Toby something. Caprioska said, hi Rev, has done a great job in the hiring process so far. Robin and Trevor have been underrated talent in the scene for a long time. Your coaching team looks very sharp this split. Shame he had to change from link deleted. Toby Maguire, that's it. Jack Ace Doe. Thank you, Jack, for correcting me there. Toby Maguire, yeah. Oh, it's from the old one with the cage fights, no lines. Oh, it is, right, okay, yeah. Do you know what? My knowledge of films and things isn't so great. Do you know what? I don't spend enough time watching films or having downtime. I don't watch films, I watch esports. I should watch more films. I want to watch the Book of Boba Fett. The new episode's out today, and I've been looking forward to that each week. I have been enjoying that. So where were we? Let's crack on. LEC caster lineup. I said I'd talk about this because this has been a good. Let's bring this up. Oh, did I not have the background open? I made that mistake again, didn't I? Yeah, so LEC caster lineup that was announced today. It's another good lineup, isn't it? I'm looking forward to this. Great to see Quickshot back. I did that on my stream on Saturday, talking about Quickshot. His return to the LEC. You know, the time off. He's taken time out. He spoke about burnout and breaking down barriers around mental health. So I'm glad he wrote about this publicly and addressed it. And you know, it looks like he's spent some good time, and he's like he said, I'm happy to share that my time in therapy has been great. I learned a lot about myself, developed new skills, and have a deeper understanding of what I need to do for me, for my mental health, and for me to perform at work and be the husband and doggo father I want to be at home. So yeah, it's good to have Quickshot back. It was quite a fun little announcement they did. It was like a roster reveal, wasn't it? But for casters and hosts. And yeah, just UK and Ireland talent. Lots of it in the LEC. We've got I've listed it all, haven't I, at the top here. Cadrell. It's good to have Cadrell confirmed coming back to the LEC, because his future was up in the air a little bit, wasn't it? When he put out that tweet a few months ago. Was it a few months ago? It was last month, wasn't it? There we go. Yeah, Daniel Dracos, I don't feel so good, like he's disappearing, like the Marvel thing. Yeah, that was only a month ago, so it's good that Cadrell's back. We've got Medic returning again, Vedius returning, and then Irish casters as well. Oisin Malloy and Dagda are going to be joining as regular guests, which is great to see. And Nymera as well is confirmed as a regular guest caster for the LEC. Really amazing to see. So congrats to those guys. I'm looking forward to it. Also, of course, having Shocks back and the other regulars there, Laura, Goldborg. Goldborg as well, called up. You know, Goldborg is not a guest anymore. He's part of the main LEC talent roster. So, you know, shout out to Goldborg, because he's on the main NLC talent team and the LEC one. So he's got a blooming busy year ahead of him. So, Goldborg, I hope you find lots of downtime this year, because it sounds like you're going to be very busy, but well deserved call ups. You know, I'm really looking forward to the LEC coming back. It always seems like it's a long break after the summer split, and then between the end of the summer split and the start of the spring split next year, it always feels like a long break. Yes, we've had the World Championship, but yeah, it still feels like a long break for me. Kay Peroska said, so hyped for Nymera on NLC. If you want a fun story, the first time he cast for SQ1 2 years ago, I took him aside after his cast and I told him, within 3 years you'll be cast in LEC. He thought I was crazy, lol. That'd be amazing if you had a recording or something like that, wouldn't it? Yeah. And I see that. I see talent, and I've seen players as well. You know, back in the day, Alfari. When I saw Alfari, let's go into the recent interview I did with him. Look at this young Alfari here. Look at that on Team Infused. This is when they won the UK scene back in late 2015. I knew him. Well, I was very excited about this team because they had 2 UK players on, and Alfari and Maxwell had very good top lane jungle synergy. And I said early on, I think these guys are going to go far. And back then, it was almost a bit of a meme, UK League of Legends. You know, people would almost take the mick out on me a little bit for being hopeful of the future. And yeah, we're going to get, or world champions, or we're going to have good players. And, you know, I was laughed at a little bit. But I always, I was always passionate about this. And yeah, it hasn't quite worked out for Max Law in the way that it has for Alfari. But I still think, Max Law has potential. But yeah, it's been good to see. Yeah, it's good to see that young talent come through. I think Alfari, I can't remember if he was 15 that year and he just turned 16, because I think he had some trouble playing in the Challenger series. But back then, before we had, I think this was before EU Masters, we had the Challenger series. I think he had some trouble playing in that, but he just had his birthday and then he managed to get through. I don't know if he was too young to play in it at some point. 2020, year of the Borg, Snowline says. Yeah, absolutely. We have interviewed Goldborg a bunch of times. Yeah, Megalodontus is right. If I actually search here, actually most of the casters we have interviewed, there are Initialize and Nymera I want to interview next. I think once I've got my MSI interviews out of the way, which should be by early February, it'd be great to interview Nymera, Initialize, maybe do a bit on the LJO officially unofficial that they run, and that would be really good to do. There we go. Yeah, so Megalodontus interviewed Goldborg half a year ago. This was about him getting called up to the LEC and why swearing at Quickshot is on his bucket list. So it's a fun... I like to, do interviews that are a mix of serious questions and answers, but also fun ones as well, right? Because it's esports at the end of the day. It's all supposed to be fun. So yeah, you can check that out. You can just Google it if you want to read... Actually, you can probably guess, we have interviewed quite a few people in UK League of Legends over the years. So if you just Google Esports News UK interview and the name, chances are there'll be something in there. Have you seen, Crazy said, have you seen that TSM might be dropped from LCS? So I saw the news about Reggie, and I will come on to that. So if we've done a bit of this stuff here, let me close some of these tabs. And let's go down my my Twitter, because I haven't seen that so dropped from the LCS, really? I mean, surely if Riot looked into this, it'd be a sanction against Reggie, right? TSM being booted out, that's I haven't heard that. Do you have a link, Crazy? Is that a definite thing, or is that just speculation, people talking on Twitter? K Peresco says, I have a stupid record of finding talent. The last time I said that was when I was working with Vedius. I remember, again, Vedius back in the early days. It's been great to see his rise to fame as well. Absolutely. Goldborg is actually a sweetheart. Crazy says, will you do any NLC interviews? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Megalodontus is going to be, hopefully, our interview person again this year, more than me. I did interview Alfari, and I will do interviews every now and then, but, interviews can be pretty time-consuming because you've got to arrange them, you've got to agree the date, you've got to come up with your questions, do your research, record it, do the chat, transcribe it, pick out the best quotes, pick out the headline, share it on socials, share it on Reddit. It's a very time-consuming thing. So Mega's helping me a lot with that, and hopefully, if I get funding in the future, I can grow the team further, because I do struggle getting the time. K Presco said, Dom, if you want to interview Alex or Sam, Initialize and Nomura, talk to me, I'll make sure it happens. Oh, 100%. Yeah, I have been talking to them. I've just been a bit rubbish, but I definitely want to do that. Snowline says, I love how UK has so much talent in all aspects around esports, whether it's journalists, casters, players, absolutely ridiculous. It is. We produce a lot. Sometimes people have moaned at me on Twitter where I've said, great to see UK talent in the LEC or whatever else, and some people have moaned at me saying, well, of course, Dom, because it's English speaking, what do you expect? But no, there's still, I know it's native English speaking, but we still have a lot of great English speaking people that aren't British, like Shocks and so on. There's a lot of great. So I still think the UK, I do think casters and hosts is our strong point. We don't have, compared to other regions, the amount of player talent in League of Legends. We do in some other games, FIFA, Street Fighter, we've got some good talent in other games, but League of Legends, other games like Dota, even CSGO, we don't have many pro players, do we? But in terms of staff, production staff, journalists, all that, yeah, we do have a lot of good talent, absolutely. Oh, you heard it from the I Will Dominate stream, Crazy. Well, then there's probably truth to it there, isn't there? Yeah, if you heard it from Dom, the more popular Dom across the pond, not the UK Dom. Okay, cool. Well, it's good to have stuff in the chat, everyone. Yeah, I appreciate you guys being here. Yeah, this story, Riot Games is investigating a top esports team founder over bullying allegations. I mean, some people might not be surprised of this because we have heard of, in particular, Doublelift has spoken about Reginald, hasn't he? And Reginald's behaviour and how he hasn't liked some of his behaviour. I think there's some quotes in here. Here we go. Doublelift said of Reginald, he's like a bully who gets away with being a bad person because he's powerful, because people are afraid to stand up to him. I'm sick of someone who's basically just a bully getting away with it because it's in everyone's best interest to not get in his way. So, well, we'll see what happens. Let's go on. I Will Dominate's Twitter. Let's see if he's said anything there. That's not coming up. I Will Dominate. What's I Will Dominate's Twitter handle? Oh, there we go. IWD. There we go. That's some of that other stuff coming up there was not what I was looking for. Okay, there's a main thing here. TSM announces they will be investigating themselves as to if there was misconduct by Reginald, the investigator. Very good. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? We'll see what happens, I guess. We shall see what happens. Cecilia is such a good writer, said Snowlines. Yeah, I should have shouted that out, actually. I keep forgetting. I bring up pages and articles and I keep forgetting to say who it's by. Let's bring it up again. Cecilia D'Anastasio. I hope I've pronounced that right. Yeah, and that was for Wired.com. So that was pretty interesting. There were some other good things as well. If we go through, I think that's it with League of Legends here. Just looking at my other tabs. Oh, there was another right thing before I go into the talking about Dota. They cancelled the first major. Oh, is that for this year? Is it? Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me at all. Let's have a look at that. You've been on it. Oh, crazy. You've been good. You've been on it. Oh, there we go. Yeah, Valve just announced the cancellation of first major due to new strains of COVID. Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it? But it's going to happen. This Omicron thing. I barely leave the house, and I've caught it. I'm not even sure how I caught it, to be honest. So yeah, it's very contagious. This thing. Luckily, it does seem to be pretty weak. Touch wood, so that's an advantage in a way, but yeah, what can you do? That's annoying, isn't it? It'd be good to get the actual post there that that Valve put out. I'm guessing it's on the official Dota 2 Twitter or not. Oh gosh, I mean, wow. Like, compared to how active this social media is compared to League of Legends is pretty crazy. I mean, the last post was December 22nd. I know Valve is Valve, but, you know, they could hire a social media person just to focus on Dota, couldn't they? Instead of doing one post every week or so. Compared to League of Legends, there's... big difference there. League posts like multiple times a day, right? Pretty much, and they have a lot of Twitter pages as well. LoL Esports, League of Legends, the UK League of Legends. Then they have all their esports leagues and stuff as well. Crazy! I'm always on Twitter because I'm a social media manager. Yeah, absolutely. Do a good job as well. Phoenix McNoob, how's it going, Alistair? Thanks for joining us. I'm doing a random midweek stream. I thought, why not? Be good to do 2 streams a week. Phoenix McNoob says, I caught from either a mousepad delivery or trip to Tesco. Crazy infectious. Yeah, absolutely. And I still keep my distance with people as well. So, and I'm always careful if I see people coughing as well. I know it sounds a bit weird. I'll take a bit more distance. None of that happened. So I don't know how I caught it, to be honest. This was another update. This was published yesterday. I just did a story today. Riot Games CEO Nicolo Laurent has outlined a 5-year plan for Riot Games and their future visions, and they've also said that parent company, Tencent, are going to give Riot staff the option to gain partial ownership of the company, which I thought was pretty interesting. That was pretty buried. No one really sort of covered that as a story, so I sort of pulled that out. He said, going forward, Rioters will have the opportunity to own a portion of the company along with Tencent and thus directly participate in the risks and rewards of ownership. So that's pretty interesting. He spoke about how good the year was, 180 million plus players, 3,000 plus members of staff, Arcane doing well on Netflix and so on. And he spoke about Riot are going to have 5 pillars in the future: games, esports, entertainment like Arcane, publishing, so delivering a consistent player arc across products, and enterprise, which supports Riot as a whole. Spoke about the diversity and inclusivity stuff, the recent lawsuit settlement, and an initiative called Q Dodge, which allows any staff member to leave Riot within their first 6 months of joining if they don't like it, and still get paid a portion of their salary as they transition to a different company. That sounds pretty good. Because, you know, we have heard stories over the years, haven't we, of Riot being, hard work to work for. You know, of course it's going to be hard work in the games industry, but not to mention the other nonsense and harassment stuff they've had, which they've hopefully all sorted now. They've got a diversity team, haven't they, as well. And I quite like this quote from Niccolo as well, who said, "For anyone reading about Arcane and our other plans and are worried we might water down the secret sauce and spread our focus wide, I want to reassure you that's not the case. In fact, it's quite the opposite. We're focusing on depth and not breadth. Our focus audience will still be the same narrow one it was back when Brandon and Mark were dreaming up this company in their back-to-back gaming chairs. Dedicated players who had been let down by devs leaving them behind to chase the next big thing. We'd sooner shut down the company than ever become that." So basically saying, despite doing all the stuff with Arcane, all these new games, Ruined King on the Switch and Xbox and other things, they're still not gonna detract from their core, you know, appeasing PC players, having the esports set up. So that was pretty good to hear. So I think Riot are in quite a good position at the moment. They've had a good year last year. They've sorted out some of their nonsense behaviour, and it seems like they're doing pretty well. Arcane second season on the way could be properly bigger than the first one, couldn't it? Because more people become aware of it, and all the hype around it it'll get people watching season 1 again, and so on. So yeah, I think that's it from League of Legends. If I go through some of the other stuff since my stream on the weekend, let's have a look at the chat here quickly. Snowline says, "Oh, the 5-year plan was a good read. Had a look this morning." Oh, thanks, Snowlines. Was that my article or Niccolo? Because actually, if we go back to that, it's I just took a few quotes from Niccolo's article. It was quite a good read. His read on the Riot Games website. I did enjoy this read. I thought it was pretty good, actually. Whether he wrote the whole thing or not is another question. It may have been ghost written, but regardless, it was still pretty good and broken down nicely into sections as well. So I like this. I like seeing high level executives at companies opening up like this. I think we're going to start seeing this more and more now. I mean, yeah, usually, you would have got this kind of thing from a journalist 10, 15, 20 years ago, but why not do it on their own platform? And it makes it easier for journalists like me who don't have a lot of time to just jump in and pick a few quotes out, Snowline said, especially as just before Arcane released, they cited 180 million monthly users for Runeterra. That's it, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a ton of players, isn't it? And do you know what? On that number, because you might think cynically that 180 million is just player accounts. There was another journalist, I can't remember now, but I read somewhere the other day, I don't know if it was PC Gamer or something else, they grilled Riot on that figure and did the research and said, no, it's players that have been active in the last 3 months or something like that. So that figure is pretty impressive. It's not just people that signed up to League 8 years ago and don't play it anymore. These are active players. Crazy says, does anyone here follow CS:GO? Not super closely, but I do cover it. And there's this story here, Into the Breach, a UK org, moved into... I did this story because they announced 3 separate announcements, and I thought, well, that's pretty interesting. I'll group it into one article. They've moved into Valorant. They've signed 10 Stars Academy roster, known as Titan. And they've also extended their CS:GO and Rainbow Six contracts. They've announced some new tournaments as well. So... yeah, Into the Breach have done some good things. They've also got a Dota team with some good UK players in as well, which is a rarity. Tanner and I think it's Adzantic are the 2 UK players on their Dota team. So good luck to those guys. SK Gaming and the LEC announced a Beyond NRG Germany partnership with the supplement drink provider. Like I say, I've got a bit of a partnership going on with Beyond NRG at the moment for a few promoted articles. So I haven't actually tried it. Do you know, I haven't tried many focus supplements and energy drinks. So do you guys? It seems to be. I don't know. I feel old. I'm a bit more old school. I don't really have them. But what do you guys? Do you guys in the chat have any of them? Let me know what you think, because I've never really got into energy drinks and focus supplements. Into the Breach made it into ESEA Premier. When was that, Crazy? Because I thought there was a team that were close to doing it, and they didn't quite make it. Someone told me that Into the Breach didn't make it. Am I wrong? Am I wrong there? Let me just have a little look. Is that the European one? ESEA season 36, season 40. Oh god, there's so many, isn't there? Look at Adam9110 tweet. Phoenix McNoob says, I can give you much insider info on Into the Breach, Dom. Oh, thank you. Snowline said, I did the maths this morning and the 180 million figure is 2.4% of the world's population. That's mad, isn't it? My goodness. Okay, Pereska said, I've tried Beyond since one of my companies helped sell them to some orgs. Alright, the blueberry one is nice. Okay, let's have a look at Adam's tweet then. Is this right? Is this the right person? This doesn't look right. Are you sure that's right? Adam9110. Oh, I've hang on. Yeah, that doesn't seem to be coming up. Oh, 9130. Okay. Because I don't know what's happened, but I'm sure someone told me they didn't make it in. Oh, has it literally just happened? Crazy. Has it literally just happened? No. Phoenix McNoob said you were right though, fell short in playoffs but got given the last Prem slot. Ah, right, okay. How's that happened then? Has another team dropped out or something? That's interesting, isn't it? I'll have to do something on that, I think. Oh, well, to be honest, I'll probably just update my my existing article rather than do a whole new one. Oh, it happened today. Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, look, it all seems to be happening now. Oh, that is a good story then. I'll update that. Thanks for letting me know, guys. With stuff like this, please DM me stuff like this. Please DM me, because I'm with my kids. I'm not always on Twitter 24/7, so stuff like that really helps, even if it's just a line, or you don't even have to say hi to me. You could just send me a link, right? And that really helps me a lot. Until I grow the team, I sometimes am a little bit slow with news, but yeah, I'll make a note of that to update it. That's great news for those guys and for UK esports as well, because I know that Endpoint have been in ESEA and stuff like that over the years and went to the Pro League, didn't they, last year? 100%. Okay. What other stuff did I have here? Shall I carry on looking through? Carry on looking through my Twitter. Let's see if there's any other stories here. This is a Rainbow Six one, so it might not interest some of you that much, but I did think this was quite interesting. I like Hunter Cook at Siege GG. He's a good journalist, and he's found out that Dark Zero, the org, he's found out who their previously unannounced billionaire founder is. In someone who's on the Forbes 500 list. Dark Zero Esports' silent investing partner and other founding member has been revealed as Scott Duncan, according to public documents and a Dark Zero spokesperson. So, as decent journalists, he's figured out who this person is here, looked at some documentation and stuff like that, and it's Scott Duncan, the son of departed Texas oil pipeline mogul Dan Duncan and a Forbes 500 member. I've got to be honest, I don't know those guys. Are they American? I guess Texas oil pipeline mogul. But that's interesting to have such a big, prominent person or investor on an esports org in Rainbow Six. That's pretty interesting. Makes me wonder. I wonder how many other silent investors there are out there in esports and gaming. Probably a lot more than we realise, right? Seeing if there's anything else. Oh, I like this tweet here. I think this is most of it, to be honest. Let's Snowlines. Dot are reporting Core JJ won't be able to play. Poor Team Liquid. Have you got a short list of up-and-coming journalists to watch, perchance, Dom? Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I have off the top of my head, like, people that I follow, and I have, like, a little group on Discord. It's a shame it's not that active, but I'm friends with a lot of journalists and things on, GG Recon. You probably know Meg. I think Meg's a good journalist to follow. Meg Ito, who's an esports writer for Dixerto now and has been a freelancer. Adam Fitch has done some good stuff for Dixerto. He's actually left recently and hasn't announced his next thing yet. Do you know what? It's I remember back in the day before Jacob Wolf got big. I remember going on Dot Esports or Daily Dot or whatever it was as it was back then, and being impressed with Jacob Wolf's writing and thinking, oh, I'd love to hire him if I was an editor of an esports publication. I haven't had the budget or anything, and then he become a mega star, much bigger than me. Trying to think up and coming, like Cecilia, who you've mentioned. There's a reporter at. I've retweeted her the other week. I think, was it Business Insider or something like that? I should make a list, really, shouldn't I? I should have a list of journals. They're just sort of just up there in my head. I think Bloop and some of those guys are good on, Upcomer. Dot have got some good journalists. Gosh, I can't remember her name now. I can't remember. Is it Shannon Liao, video game journalist for Washington Post? Yes. I don't know why I'm not following her. I thought I was following her. Yeah, Shannon is pretty good, but I don't know how much of the work she does is actually like covering esports. It's video games. She's a video games journalist, right? So she's going to do some general games journalist stuff as well, like Xbox and stuff like that. But yeah, she seems to be good to follow. I can't do the proper journalist thing, so much these days, just because of my lack of time. I'm more an editor. I'd like to have a team and encourage a younger team to get to big levels. I think to be honest, I've covered most of the stuff here that I've tweeted about this week. I liked Kassig's quote about our first objective is to make NLC a competitive region, and he thinks that X7 can go all the way. That was interesting. Oh, yeah, here's... there we go. George Geddes is a good journalist to follow. He's recently moved to Dot Esports from Upcomer. And... yeah, okay, if I just open these ones... I should have planned this a little bit better, shouldn't I? He's just done a story, actually, George, for Dot Esports. 10 star... Valorant team in the UK have just signed Doma to replace Stanley, and that has come true. That there we go. This is a multiple sources thing, but I saw I think it's happened. Doma made the announcement. Doma, of course, was at Fnatic, so that's a big sort of signing. That's a big statement of intent from 10 Star, which is pretty interesting. Phoenix McNoob said there is a silent person funding a number of teams in UK Counter-Strike. Interesting. K Proska said, Dom, if you want an exclusive, X7 is outspending everyone in the Prime League at least. Not likely LFL, LVP, but they legit want to win EU Masters. Oh, yeah, I know they do, don't they? Outspending everyone in the Prime League. I mean, it doesn't surprise me with the investments they've made, but it's... they're making them for a reason. They want to win, right? They want to do well. Do you know what I'm interested in? I'm interested in who could become a next franchise team in the LEC in the future. We've seen Team BDS come in, right, and take Schalke's slot. Who would come in tomorrow, do you think, in the chat, if a slot became available in the LEC? Because for me, Carmine Corp would be a lead contender. But then you've also got Koi in the Spanish Superliga. Don't forget... all teams like Barcelona that will have a lot of money to just buy their way in, and or X7, it's very competitive, isn't it? It wouldn't surprise me if a lower team gets booted out of the LEC. What did Riot say when the LEC was announced? Can we remember? Because I'm pretty sure they said something like, if teams are underperforming or don't meet consistent requirements, they can get booted out. Let's go back. This is from November 2018. This is when Excel joined the LEC, and because I didn't do an article on, because I didn't have much time back then, because I had a full-time job on top of Esports News UK. I didn't do an actual article on the LEC rebrand announcement. I just did it on Excel. What's this? This is a story from Jacob Wolf, November 2018. I can't remember what Riot said, but I'm pretty sure, teams can be booted out. Let's have a look here. Oh, here we go. Look, I've done a section here. Introducing the LEC. What is the new European Championship? Yeah, the teams taking part are as follows. So obviously, we've only seen a couple of changes. Well, actually, we've seen quite a few changes, haven't we? Origin have become Astralis. Splice are Mad Lions. And Schalke are gone for BDS. No, it doesn't say. But been interesting to hear your thoughts. Who you think would come in? Movie star maybe. Phoenix McNoob says. K Proska said the LEC should consider expanding to 12 teams. In my opinion, that's an interesting idea. That's interesting. I think there'd be a lot of hype if they let Carmine Corp in. Snowline says I could see a big regional team partnering with SAP, the German software conglomerate, to form one. That's interesting. Do you have links with Germany, Snowline? Is that how you know that? Because I haven't heard of SAP before. Where was I? I think, to be honest, that's most of the news I've seen on Twitter this week. Oh, this was a good tweet here. This was from a Riot staff member, Michael Luo, narrative writer for League of Legends. So Zeri, Gwen, Samira, some of those newer champs. Also Lee Sin, True Damage, and some other bits and pieces. Back in March 2021, I read this article. It's the reason Neon and Zeri say, I belong here, we all belong here. A reminder, hashtag stop Asian hate. This was a really nice thing. Over 2,000 retweets and more than 11,000 likes. So that's interesting, isn't it? That these quotes from these characters that Michael Luo has written was inspired by these awful attacks on this particular one, brutal attack on Filipino woman sparks outrage, and so they've put Filipino. Zeri is Filipino, right? I'm not sure if Neon is. I'm guessing she is as well. There was I did a thing on Zeri the other week, and I put in some quotes from Riot. Here we go. Maybe it was actually crap. Maybe it was wasn't this one. It was the Valorant one. I did one on. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. So Ryan Cusart at Riot said, I've been at Riot for a while now, and until now there's only been talk here and there of making a character from the Philippines. I'm a Filipino designer, so the opportunity to help bring a Filipina agent to life in Valorant is an absolute blessing to me all the way down to the core. I remember the day John and Jay at Riot broke the news to me that I was going to have this opportunity, and thankfully my camera wasn't working as I was choked up and full of tears. I remember not being able to speak for a few minutes, and though speechless, I let out a very quiet "thank you so much." So that's nice, isn't it? That we're getting some more diversity in with the characters in League and Valorant. Oh, Snowline said SAP put a lot of money behind Team Liquid over the last few years and then partnered with LEC with their HANA software. Right, okay. They seem to be making moves in esports, and being German-based, a team could be an interesting investment for them, yep. Zeri's Zornite, but they're both voiced by the same Filipinx voice actor, I believe. Oh, right, that's interesting. Okay, cool. Yeah, because there's been a lot of similarity, hasn't there, between Neon and Zeri. I'm looking forward to seeing Zeri. I like the idea that abilities are like autos or something. You know, I haven't, to be honest, I haven't followed it super closely. I'm a journalist. I'm an expert for a day. I write the article and then I'm on to the next one. I'll do this last, actually. I'll do it now. Emotes on the channel. So yeah, I had a few from British Esports. That's going to be an emote on this channel. This is already an emote for subs. The Sacco Snackos thing. I made a silly Pog champ one, and then I've also got some sub badges there which look quite nice as well. So yeah, looking forward to them going live. Oh yeah, Halo Collegiate Clash series happened recently with shout out to Jacob Atroix, who's done the production for some of our MSI interviews. Has done a really cool like Halo Collegiate series at Nottingham Confetti Institute. So yeah, that's been pretty cool as well. And I think that's everything on Twitter, to be honest. Yeah, Jacob doing great work as always. Hello, Frigid Cake. How are you? Thanks for joining the random midweek stream. It's nice to have regular people back. Alistair, there you are with the Sacco Snackos emotes. I couldn't make them easy to type. It says eSport 224 Snacko. For me to change the eSport 224 prefix, I have to change the name of my stream. I don't want to change the name from Esports News UK, so I know it's a pain in the neck, but yeah. Snowline said NSC are offering Halo this year as well, I believe. Don't know if Null are though in the UK uni scene. Oh, that's good to hear. Yeah, I'm still waiting for the Null on a press release due soon on their winners from last year and some other bits and pieces. So hopefully that'll be soon. A few other stories, and then I'm going to head off. I might have a quick watch of this Boba Fett thing before I go to bed. XO Esports have announced their 2022 Valorant roster, made a few changes, and there's 2 UK players on it now. Mo 40, who was already on the team previously with Fnatic, and now we've got Ozzy as well, another UK player, and then they've also got Chihuahua, Russian player, Element, Serbian player, and Patitek, Polish player. So, and this news was first broken by that man George Geddes again, writing for Upcomer 2 weeks ago, and it's now been confirmed by Excel. So we'll see how they do. FaZe Mongrel has become the most talked about esports player on Twitter of last year. He's a UK Fortnite player, of course. This guy's rise to success. I mean, I wrote about him couple of years ago, he joined Team Secret when he was 13 years old. Sorry, this is almost 4 years ago now. And now he has more than 2 million followers on Twitter, 4.5 million on YouTube, and more than 5 million on Twitch. Absolute insanity. And Benji Fishy, also a UK player, was the third most talked about esports player on Twitter last year. So that's great, isn't it? The most talked about esports players ever last year on Twitter, 2 of them are from the UK. Mongrel and Benji Fishy. Booger was second. So yeah, it's all the Fortnite kids, isn't it, talking about these players they're all on Twitter every day. But I thought that was pretty cool to see. And how was 2018 4 years ago, Friggy? Yeah, tell me about it. I mean, how is 2015? That's going to be Esports News UK is going to be 7 years old this year. That's only a little bit older than my son. Madness. That's it, Phoenix McNoob. You know those names. Aussie, they played at Epic 33 as no poachers. That's right. Yes, I did a story on those. Oh, well, I always do a story on the Epic LAN winners because I like to track esports history. Let's bring it up. There we go. Yes, no poaching. There he is, Aussie. Yeah, and Element. There you go. Yeah. EC1S, is it Echo? EC1S has been linked with a team as well. I think 100 Thieves, George Geddes reporting. He's the man for Valorant roster moves. So if they announce it, I'll probably do a story on that at some point as well. Yeah, I remember it well. Frigicake was still working at ESL back then, because I remembered Skype was a thing back then, wasn't it? How old is that? We used to chat on Skype. Now there's Discord. And then the last story from me on Esports News UK tonight. Students cleverly recreate entire Queen Mary's College esports facility in Minecraft ahead of Minecraft Collegiate League. I thought this was quite fun. 2 students, James, 17-year-old Emily and 18-year-old James, STEM students, made this. And you might think, oh, Minecraft, Dom, but look at that. It's very, very well recreated. And actually, I spoke to one of the teachers at QMC College, because they take part in the British Esports Student Championships and they do the Esports BTEC and stuff like that. And he told me that they're planning on doing virtual open evenings and things like that. How cool is that? You know, that's the metaverse, isn't it? Being able to walk around a virtual version of your college or your uni in the future, and maybe like leave messages and things like that. I mean, it's prone to abuse, isn't it? It's prone to trolling big time. Someone will have to moderate that stuff in the future if you have a public metaverse for schools and colleges. My goodness. But look at that. Look, a yoga room, yoga for gamers. Like, I thought that was really cool. I thought, do you know what? It's worth a little news story because I think it's a nice, cool thing. These students are, you know, we've got great young talent in the UK, haven't we? How many students doing esports courses or even just at different colleges at unis taking part in NUL, NLC, British Esports Student Championships are future esports stars? Some of them are going to be, aren't they? Some of them are going to be the future Richard Lewises of the world or the future Shocks and things like that. Snowline says, love that. It's so good to see gaming and esports represented at the college level. The work teacher perks, C9 perks, has done for introducing UK schools to gaming is so great. Absolutely. Dashes, thank you for joining. I didn't realise you were lurking. Good night, thank you for the stream. Thank you, Dashes, for tuning in. And to everyone tuning in, I appreciate it so late. A couple of other quick bits of news that I've seen the past couple of days. ESL Gaming is celebrating 10 years of IEM. They've done a bit of a refresh. IEM Katowice is coming back with a combined $1.5 million prize pool. They had a nice little press conference live on Twitch, actually, which I thought was pretty good with Carmack and a few of the others there. Faker has done a little interview here with Inven Global. He said, my priority is improving my form. If I achieve my goals, a ticket to the Asian Games will come naturally. I thought this was quite interesting. They asked him a question. There's a lot of attention. You've got a typo in your article there, Inven Global. A lot of attention on the Asian Games this year. What are your thoughts on potentially representing your country this year? Faker said, playing in the Asian Games would be a great honour. Before I tell myself I really want to play in the Asian Games, My priority is improving my form. If I achieve my goals, a ticket to the Asian Games will come naturally. So that's interesting, I think. What else has he said here? I spoke about teleport changes as well. The laning phase has become that much more important because you can't freely teleport to other lanes pre-14 minutes. In comparison to the previous seasons, I predict that there will be less variance. He's also glad that he's got off to a good start with a 2-0 victory. I'm guessing that's in the LCK. Okay, so a very brief chat, isn't it? But I liked his answer on the Asian Games. And I think that's it from me, guys. So you mentioned about... Friggy said, definitely need to chat to you at some point about school stuff, Dom, if you've got some time over the next few weeks. Yeah, let me know. I do have a bit of a crazy schedule. I've had a new consultancy client come in today, which I'm really happy with. That came out of the blue. Someone found me through Google, which is great. So my calendar is looking a little bit, and they want 3 calls a week doing that. So that's 3 hours of my time gone each week, which is usually, you know, can do a good few articles in that time, which I won't be doing now. So yeah, my calendar's a bit crazy, but yeah, chuck it in. Give me a DM, Will, and we'll sort something. Snowline says, night Dom, thank you for stream. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is late. I think I'm going to head off as well, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I wanted to do a little midweek stream. Keep the streams going, keep activity. I certainly don't want to lose Twitch affiliate now that I've got it. So I think even if I'm doing 1 hour, 1 to 2 hours twice a week, that's good, and I'm happy with these 5 to 10 viewers. This is good for a late night thing, and then we'll hopefully grow. I'm still getting like a few new followers here and there, and the interviews has helped. So we'll probably be at 300 followers soon, and the follower numbers on Twitter are going up nicely as well. So thanks for all your support, everyone. Have a good evening. Oh, Nymera says, oh god damn it, missed it. Yes, we've been talking about you, Nymera. Speak of the devil, with all good things, don't worry. Yeah, so Snowlines can back me up there, saying, hey Nymera, we've been singing you in the JLU's praises, sorry you missed a stream. Yeah, and we've been saying, Nymera, I know I keep saying it every blooming time, because we were talking about the caster lineup for NLC and also LEC, and congrats, by the way, that is fantastic news. And we were saying, you know, Megalodontus was in the stream as well. We have interviewed most, if not all, of the NLC casters and hosts. I think Archeron we haven't, and then you and Initialize we haven't. So I really want to get time. Once I've done these MSI interviews, I've done 2, Alfari and Relating Wave for Rocket League. There's 2 more coming up. They're in the works at the moment, not announced. But once I've done the CSGO and Dota ones, I won't be doing those interviews. I've got some good talent on board to do them. Let's get an interview sorted if you're free. When you're free, maybe February sometime. It'd be amazing to do that. So just give me a shout. Anytime after next Wednesday, I'm free. Great. Packing down my PC for the move soon. Yeah, good luck with the move to Berlin. I hope that sounds really exciting. Enjoy it. I'm sure you'll get to... That's a great move for you, isn't it? Because I'm sure you'll be bumping into and chatting to all kinds of people and personalities and LEC players and whatnot. So that's going to be super exciting. Good luck with that. And yeah, so thanks for watching, everyone. Good luck, and may the force be with you. I hope this is not going to become a sad thing every time I do this blooming stream now. But I had to say that because I'm going to watch this Boba Fett thing now before I go to bed. So, yeah. Good luck, everyone. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time. Sacco signing out for now.